Hello, 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 everyone. It is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Welcome to Breast Cancer is Bushy, YouTube collab hosted by Kate. You can find the playlist in the description below. You can also find the supply list for this project that I'll be painting in the description below. And I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to get started. Okay. So I have out a little piece of graphite paper. I have out my pumpkin template, and I am using this 9x12 mixed media pad. I love this paper, and this is what we will be painting. So I have a canvas, I have this round, and I'm going to be painting it now in my mixed media art journal. Okay, I'm going to take my template. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to center it. I never measure. You can measure. You can find the center. You can do whatever you want. Pay no attention to these colors. This is if we were going to paint it in blue. I'm painting it in pinks for breast cancer awareness. And this Breast Cancer is Bushy YouTube collab. So I'm sliding my graphite paper underneath. And I'm just going to now trace. I'm going to walk you guys through step by step creating this painting. It's a simple pumpkin, but we do it a little fun and abstract. And then obviously we're doing it in non-traditional pumpkin colors. But I do add the orange in there, and you'll be surprised that it works. This is my palette here, black and white. This is Juneberry, Purple Pizzazz, Spice Pumpkin, Bubblegum Pink, and only colors that you need for this project. Oh, gotta do my stem. And that's it. That is all I'm doing is the basic lines of the pumpkin in the middle of my page. Okay. You can find the tracer and the supply list in the description below. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I have out all the brushes I'm going to need and probably an extra. So for this painting, I'm using a chip brush. I don't usually wash my chip brushes. It'll stay stained. A chip brush makes a really cool abstract effect. I'm going to show you how we use that. And then you need, depending on the size of your canvas, a larger flat brush, a liner brush, which mine will get nicer when I put it in the water, and then a medium round brush. I have this smaller flat brush as well. I may use the flat, I may use the round, but these are the basic brushes that I use for almost 90% of my painting. A large flat, about a 1/2 inch flat, a medium round, and a liner. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load my brush up with white paint. I'm applying a little bit of pressure to my brush. We want to get the paint up into the fibers of our brush. We don't want them to just be like down here on the tip. You want to have a decent amount of paint in your brush. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick up the the pink. You want to start with the white and then you want to add the darker color. And I'm just going to start doing the background. And if you can see, I'm picking up pink and white and I'm swirling it in here. I'm making a swirly background. Now you can just come in here with pink and not add the white because your canvas is white or your background is white. I like to paint the white. I like to paint all the pieces of my canvas. When I'm getting close to my design, I slow down and I use my brush on the chisel edge, upright. When I'm trying to paint in my background, I'm using the brush on the flary end. And for this background, I'm just doing a soft swirl. Each time I go back to my paint, I pick up pink, I pick up white, and I come back to my canvas. So here is my palette. I pick up pink, I pick up white, and I come back to my canvas. Now this is called the background because it's the background. Our pumpkin is what's going to be in the forefront of our painting. So if your background is not perfect, it's a background. It's art. Art can't be wrong. Okay? So I'm just coming in here. I'm going to fill in my whole canvas. If your canvas starts getting too pink, pick up more white. If your canvas starts getting too white, pick up more pink. Okay? And if you've noticed, I am constantly moving my surface around. I paint on a regular old Lazy Susie, so I can keep turning my surface and not my arm. This is just a protector sheet. This is a big piece of plastic that I recycled from somewhere. And that is a protector sheet that I keep in my book. So when I'm doing other designs, I'm not getting paint on the edge of all my pages in my book, and then they're going to stick together. The bottom doesn't matter as much because we're going to come back in here with some darker gray and do like a shadow for a pumpkin. But I'm still going to do in the whole thing. Okay. And there we have our background. I'm going to put this brush in the water and let it be for now. I'm going to go to my medium round brush, or you can go to your 1/2-inch flat brush. And I'm going to start with my dark color. I love this Juneberry. This is a folk art color. The other 4 colors that I have here are deco art. But I love this Juneberry from folk art. And I'm just going to start putting in some dark parts of the pumpkin. Okay, I'm just twirling my brush into my paint. I want to keep a nice point. And then I'm coming into the segments and I'm following the segment of the pumpkin and I'm painting down. And then for here, I'm going to follow the segment and paint up. And I'm going to do the same thing for each of these sections. Paint down and paint up. Our art goes through stages where it'll look not too appealing, and that's okay. You just keep going. Your art will all come together at the end when you add in all the details. You finish in the shading and the highlighting, and then you'll see. I equate acrylic painting to making a pizza, wherein that the surface or canvas, whatever it is the dough. Then we start color blocking in or doing the background. That's the sauce. Then we start color blocking in. That's the cheese. And then we add the details. And that is the yummy toppings that make our pizza unique and what we love about our pizza. Some people love pineapple. Some people love anchovy. Some people just want their pizza plain, maybe with extra cheese. Okay, so now I did in the dark color and I brought it in from the bottom and up from the top in all the segments. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off my brush. I'm not going to clean it in the water. There's no reason to. And I'm going to go into my purple. And now I'm just going to start adding in a little bit of this purple over and underneath the Juneberry. Some of it you'll be able to see more of, some of it less. I'm just pulling it in over some of the Juneberry and then up and over the white. You want to be a little bit loose with this painting. Okay? I'm literally just pulling down some purple and then pulling up some purple. We still don't want to fill in our sections. Okay. You want to be able to see some of the purple, but you also want to be able to go over your Juneberry a little bit and do some blending. Okay. Now I am going to wash my brush. We're going to let those colors dry a little bit, and we're going to move on to a different section. So while they dry, I'm going to make a little bit of gray. So I'm going to load my brush with white, pick up a little bit of black from over here, and make a little bit of gray. If you have gray, you want to use gray, totally up to you. It's just easier for me. I like to do the supply list, and I don't like to make you guys worry about too many colors or even having the perfect colors. You use whatever colors you want. You have a different purple, use the different purple. You want to use gray, totally up to you. And I'm base coating in the stem. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and add a little bit of white to the top of the stem. And then I'm going to make my gray a little bit darker down here. And I'm going to darken up the inside of the stem here and pull up some lines. Okay. Now again with the gray on my brush, I'm just going to come in here and messily fill in the bottom of my canvas. I'm using my brush to outline underneath, and then I'm just going to come in here, pick up some more white, and make a little bit of a shadow underneath. I'm just going back and forth, and I'm blending in my gray, my white, my black. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit more dark. I'm going to make my gray a little bit darker. A little bit of black goes a long way. And I'm going to put the darkest part of this gray now underneath the pumpkin and out to the side. Either side, it's up to you. I'm going to wash my brush. So far we did our background. We did the Juneberry and the purple on our pumpkin. We base coated in our gray stem, and we added a gray shadow to the bottom. I'm going to get this chip brush, and I'm going to dip it into my Juneberry. You can see this is a chip brush. It is not a good brush. It's not a quality brush. There is hardly any paint on it. I'll show you again. See that? Hardly any paint on it. You want that. It's A-okay. And I'm going to come back. You could even, if you think you have too much paint, just give it a tap off a little bit. That's good. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to start putting in some of this abstract. Pick up a little bit more. And we love that effect. And I'm kind of having it go and floating up to the top of my pumpkin. All right. I'm going to do the same thing now with the purple. I'm just going to add a little purple in here. Some of the purple is going to go off onto the pink. Some of it is going to cross over the Juneberry. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to rub this off on my red, my paper towel, whatever. So I can go into my white. I tap off my white. And now the white is just going to totally pop. Isn't that a beautiful halo, that beautiful effect on our pink pumpkin? I'm going to do some white down here, off to the sides. And then, which might seem a little weird, I'm I'm also going to pick up some of this Spice Pumpkin Orange, which we are going to work into our pumpkin when we do the pink. Just a little. Don't want to overdo it with the orange. But you would think pink and purple and orange, oh my. But it works. Let me pick up some more of my Juneberry and tap it down here. Okay. I'm just going to put this aside. Usually I don't wash these brushes. That's why it's all stained. I will just give it a good wipe, scrub on my paper towel or my rag, whatever it is I'm using. And it's good to go. Okay, these brushes hold a lot of water. They're not quality brushes, and they will make a mess of your painting if you use them wet. But if that's the technique or the look you're going for, that's fine. But if it's not, you want to keep chip brushes dry. How are you guys liking this playlist so far? I hope you subscribe to the others in this playlist. The list is linked in the description, along with the supplies and the tracer for this painting. Now I'm going to get some pink. I'm going to go in here with a little bit of our pink. So oddly enough, you guys, I don't know if you saw my hat, but my hat is for CJD. My shirt is for cancer, breast cancer. My hat is for CJD. When my sister, I had an older sister. My sister was only 40 when she got breast cancer. It was shocking to us all. She ended up having a mastectomy and months of chemo. And this was about, I guess like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And it was horrible. And I tried to be there for her. It wasn't always easy. I had family of my own. But when a family member gets cancer, it does affect everyone. It's not just the person with the cancer. It extends to their children and their spouse. So we managed to get through that. And then it was great. My sister was okay. She went for her annual checkups and everything was good for a while. And then in 2016, she started getting sick again. She thought she had a brain tumor. She thought her cancer was back and that she had a brain tumor. However, it ended up being this really weird, quite rare, fatal disease called CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob. And within 8 weeks of my sister not feeling good and having these bizarre symptoms and us taking her to the hospital, she was stolen away and gone, just like that. And so CJD has become a huge, important theme in my life. I try to share about it whenever I can, and raise awareness because it is so rare that I often weekly meet people whose family member have CJD and their doctors have never heard of it, or their doctors are giving them the wrong information. There is a foundation, and I am always referring people to the foundation to get the right, accurate information. So anyway, I went and filled in all the pieces that were still white with the pink, but now I want to pull over a little bit of the dark colors over the pink again. So I'm going back into my Juneberry, and I'm just pulling up from the bottom. Okay. You really, honestly, you really cannot mess this painting up. Will yours look like mine? No, I've been painting for 17 years. Yours will look like yours, but it will be gorgeous. And sometimes I think we are our own worst enemies. I tell people, I see these posts on Facebook. Let me turn you guys around 1 second. I see posts on Facebook and they'll be like, I painted this, but I know I messed up the pumpkin, or I messed up the stem, or whatever. No. You see what? Look, I painted this. Thanks. And that's it. Own it. Art is not meant to be perfect. Art is not meant to be for everyone. There's no art police, and what you love, somebody might hate, and what somebody else loves, you might hate, and that's just the way it is. Okay? So now that I have all my base in here, I'm going to go to my liner brush. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of water. This way all my fibers come together. I'm going to roll my liner brush between my thumb and my forefinger up here. So I want my liner brush to have a nice point on it. And I'm just going to start going over my lines and my segment of my pumpkin. Make sure the rest of your pumpkin is dry and you're not dragging your little pinky through it. I've done that. These lines do not have to be perfect. We just want our pumpkin to pop. If you have to do little tiny strokes like this and just have them meet up with one another, as opposed to one swoop, that works too. It's all good. Come in here to this middle section. We're also going to add a little highlight to this. It does take a little practice to use a liner brush, so if you wanted to wait for your painting to be completely dry and then use a Posca paint pen, you can do that too. It's totally up to you. You just can't use a Posca paint pen on wet paint. You will wreck it. But if you feel like your lines are going to be a little too dark, then by all means, wait and use the pen. And I'm also going to go around the stem. Okay, and I'm going to wash my brush. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to roll my liner brush in the white, and just in a few spots, not all of them, I'm going to come in here and hit with the white. Okay? If your black is too wet and your white is more gray than white, just wait for it to dry. And then around here, a little bit around there. This softens your black a little bit, and if you had some spots where maybe your black was a little too thick, you can fix it right up with adding a little bit of this white. Okay, and I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to go back to my medium round brush. I'm just going to roll my round brush in some orange, just the tip. And then I just want to come back in here and add a little bit of orange to a few of the segments. It's weird how this orange works with the pink. Well, it's not weird. It's the color chart. But this orange works with the purples and the pinks. I just don't want to overdo it. You can put as much orange as you want, or you can skip the orange. Totally up to you. I wanted to wait. The important thing is to wait for all the rest of these colors to be dry before you come in here and start highlighting with orange. I'm so glad I was included in this. Breast cancer is bushy. You know that's a play on words, right? YouTube collab. I want to thank Kate for organizing it and all the other very extremely talented artists in this playlist. Please subscribe to my channel and theirs as well. And I hope you enjoyed this pumpkin painting. A little out of the box as far as pumpkin colors go. Let me turn you guys around. I'm going to pull out my plastic sheet. And there we have it. So I hope you enjoyed. Please watch the rest of the playlist. Hit subscribe if you can. Thanks, guys. Stay healthy. And PSA, get your girls checked this month. It's very important. Have a great day, everyone.